Next-gen consoles are finally out, and with it comes a bunch of features that people are boasting about. Features that a lot of people are saying it's the reason why you need to go buy one right now. One such feature is ray tracing, and what ray tracing does, it makes the scenes in video games even more realistic. But is it even noticeable? And that's what this episode is about. We're going to be talking about whether or not you can even tell the difference. So we're going to be covering a little bit about what ray tracing is, and I have guests who are actually put to the test. Let's see how they do. Alright, let us cover the very basics of what ray tracing is. If you want a more detailed look at what ray tracing is, maybe go watch a Linus Tech video. Instead, I'm just going to cover the basics, and more specifically, I want to show you what the guests do, how they react to whether the ray tracing is on or off. But what is ray tracing? Basically, the kind of graphics engine is kind of throwing out a whole bunch of stuff to make sure that the lighting in the game is actual like light being produced, and not like tricks that the developers have been doing in the past. Instead, ray tracing now literally allows each source of light to do its own graphical, magic to make sure that the scenes look as realistic as possible. Think of things like ray beams as it kind of shines through the trees. Before, the developers had to kind of make tricks to make sure that it looks as accurate to life as possible. Now it's an actual, like within the game, a sunbeam coming through. Let's look at reflections. Reflections are now even better, especially how light reflects off it. And so when you're looking in the mirror, you should see yourself looking right back, your video game character, not you. That would be weird if you were looking back into the reflection. Anyway, so that would be even more realistic. And so these are the type of things that would make a scene look a little bit more accurate to life than, a lot of people look at games and go, oh, that's obviously fake. But what ray tracing does, it actually makes the scene more realistic. No matter how, high res the images might look, ray tracing is meant to make the image look even better without the higher resolution, for example. And so within this is that it actually takes a lot of graphical power out of consoles. And so you have to choose. Do you want maybe more performance, meaning you want more frames, or do you want more resolution? Unfortunately, you have to choose, because what ray tracing does is that it takes a lot out of it. Some games don't allow you to give that choice. Sometimes it goes cool. You can choose quality, which means 4K resolution and ray tracing within 30 frames. Some games, like Insomniac games, they allow you to do a 60 frames mode with ray tracing on, but your resolution is going to take a huge dip. And so you get to make these choices. But the question I'm asking in this video is that whether or not you can even tell the difference. Developers have done such a fantastic job at making sure that their scenes look as realistic as possible without ray tracing. Now that it's in the games now that it's on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and Series S, can you really tell the difference? And so I have a PS5, and I've put some of my friends to the test and to see whether or not they can tell whether it's on or off. Let's see how they do.
My time now. My time.
Wow. Man. This looks crazy. Oh, wow. Dude, the lighting in this game is just mental. Oh my goodness. You're making me want to get a PS5, man. I can't really tell if the ray tracing is on. I'm not really seeing at least much reflection. But then again, maybe I'm not looking at the right surfaces. Okay, it is the same building. Whoa. Some good reflections though, gotta say.
Driving so fast in Manhattan.
Damn, and you can see the light hitting off of his costume as well. I don't know. I'm not seeing enough for me to say, ray tracing's on. But I mean, the reflections are prominent. They are here, but I don't know if it's enough for me to say ray tracing is on.
What music do you listen to?
Cool. I actually feel like I should be able to do this. If I can't, then I'm going to contemplate my job. I want to say the reflection's good, but at the same time, I don't think this is like if this is the ray tracing, then I'm not that impressed. Which means I don't think the ray tracing is on. I'm just trying to see like how the lighting looks off his suits. I don't know, this game's great though, it looks fantastic. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but this is good. I think I want to stick with the fact that the ray tracing isn't on this. I'm going to feel like an idiot if it is on, I'll tell you that much.
No, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. Nope, can't figure it out.
Hold on R3.
Let's see, where's the most reflections going to be on Windows? Am I wasting my time looking for a lake or an ocean or something? I feel like this is Queens, right? Manhattan. There's got to be something somewhere. So I'm just seeing lots of, like a good mirror simulator. There's lots of reflections in windows and stuff. But nothing mind-blowing in terms of like lights. I could do this all day though. There doesn't even need to be missions in the game. There's just so much happening on the screen at any given moment. This makes me want to play more. But no, my vote's definitely no. But no, yeah, really good reflections, but I don't think any ray tracing.
First reaction, well, you've put me on top of a light, and I can definitely see it reflecting off of his suit a bit more. The snow's hitting his suit. Oh man. I don't know, like, it does look a bit different to me. I don't know, I was looking at the roads the last time as well, and you definitely get some sort of reflection in the road. And I'm seeing the reflection in this as well. Compared to the last one, I'm struggling. Although, now that I'm seeing this, I'm looking at like a robot's reflection in the sort of melting snow. Yeah, this is tough, man. Oh my gosh. Let me look at some reflections in the window. The reflection through these windows, I don't know, it sort of seems a bit more pixely than the previous one. Man, I'm gonna look like an idiot if I get this wrong. Oh, dude. You've made this very tough. You can definitely tell, like you can see some of the lighting on his suit that just comes off really, really cool. But the reflections in the window now have me second guessing myself because they don't seem as good as the last one. I'm gonna say this one has ray tracing off. I'm gonna throw a curveball there. I'd say ray on for the first one. Oh man, I'm gonna look like an idiot. But I'm just gonna throw it as a curveball. Just because maybe the reflection seemed a bit more pixely in this one.
A friendly neighborhood superhero. We appreciate it.
Yeah, straight away I see some things that makes me think I was right in the first one. I think this is definitely with it on. Yeah, I mean these reflections aren't. I mean that could just be because it's cold. It looks like it's wet and frozen, so maybe that's it. Oh, okay. Oh no, this is gonna look like an idiot now. Because now I'm actually second guessing myself about this. The lighting's great, but my final answer, ray tracing was on the first one. Yes, I think it's off here.
I'm going to try the same process and see how this goes. Look at windows and water. 2D decorations are great. So many reflections with so much more light. I don't know if that makes a difference to ray tracing. The biggest difference is him. It looks like he's got ray tracing, but not everything else. His suit's so shiny and clean. Maybe he just washed it.
Hello.
Everything's a little shy. Whoa. Am I making these things up in my head? It looks different, but is it different? I don't know if I'm just noticing headlights on the cars. Those are different. Yes, it's definitely on. That's my vote. Yes. Just specifically from seeing this water compared to the last water, the reflections on this, it looks very similar. The last time it just looked like you could go ice skating on it for sure. That this one has ray tracing, and the first time it didn't.
Okay guys, so the answer is And as a lot of you were kind of playing, you kind of realizing you're making up things. You're like, oh, this reflection here. Oh, no, there's no reflection here. But glass is frosted there, but it's not frosted there. Josh seeing that there's headlights in the one and not headlights in the other. But the answer is that the first one was actually ray tracing on.
Oh, what can I say?
First one is ray tracing on.
I'm quite
second one is
impressed
ray
with
tracing
myself.
off.
I'm quite
Both
impressed.
At 60 frames. Wow. Sonny are doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, good to them. Props.
Immediately, dude, this game is this game is beautiful, man. Don't pay too much attention to the reflections. I'm trying not to make it my main focus this time. Oh man. Whoa, okay. The scenery just changed. Okay, that's dope, dude. Oh my god. I mean, the light is just beautiful. Like, this is crazy, man. The detail in this is crazy. This is so tough, man. What the hell?
Alrighty. Okay, off the bat, the light reflecting off what this is glass. I don't know. The shattered glass that's in the sky. It's looking really nice. Oh, okay. Alright, I like this floor. Okay. It's really nice. I'm mesmerized by this floor. Which sounds weird now that I'm saying it. Oh, the weather's changed. Oh snap, it's snowing. Ooh. I think I'm quite impressed with this one, the way it looks. Which makes me think that I know which mode this is on. Because this is looking really good. And if I can get better than this, then I'm going to be quite surprised. There's a lot of lights going on at the same time, so... And it still looks very good.
Okay.
So forget everything I know about ray tracing. Also, surely they would leave blue reflections on the floor. Is he? He is. Game changer. Okay, once. Run. Ooh. Yeah, oh, it's also a look at the water. Very close look at the water. They really throw you around with blinking lights and flashlights.
First thoughts. I don't know, man. I'm seeing the same reflections as the first sort of run through. This is tough, man. This is so tough. Dude. I'd love to see a side-by-side comparison after this. Like, what is the difference, actually? Regardless, you're getting great lighting, great reflection, and this is incredibly tough for me to differentiate. Do you know what? This playthrough seems less grainy than the first playthrough. So I think this playthrough has ray tracing. I'm probably gonna look like an idiot, but like, I don't know. This playthrough seems less grainy, and I don't know, the light is coming through, like the reflections quite nicely in this game too, in this playthrough, sorry. So yeah, that's my answer.
I just want to see the floor game. If it looks the exact same, I'm gonna be so bucked because then I'm really lost. Oh Jesus. Okay. I mean, it still looks very nice. I don't know, it's just the one thing that I thought was like the thing I would look for. This is just not helping me right now. No, it's the floor. Oh, that just threw me off now. it looks so good there. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say that ray tracing is on in this round, just because it looks a lot cleaner. If that makes sense. Like the reflections look. Don't get me wrong, it looked very good in the first round, but it's looking more crisp this round. So I'm hoping that's because the lighting is just better in this round.
Yeah, the floor looks like it got waxed. Waxed hardcore. No, it could be shiny just because it's off, and that's a lazy way to ray trace. Not lazy way, but a capable way. So when they turn it on, maybe all the reflections turn off. Where's that little robot? If this was the first game I was playing, then I'd say this is the ray tracing one, but because every time I say that this is ray tracing, it's not. I just want to contradict myself. So my brain says yes, ray tracing's on, but I'm going to go with no. This second time for Ratchet & Clank has no ray tracing at all.
And guys, this is ray tracing on. Ray tracing on. So as you can see, they've done a lot of work to make sure, because I mean, let's be honest, how much guessing work was actually done?
All of it.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was, but genuinely just because of the Marvel, and I'm like, oh, it has to be. And he's like, no, it's not. That's what made me think, like, now they just bumped us up to 4K just to mess with us.
Feels good.
But,
Any last minute thoughts about ray tracing on North?
Here's what I will say, is that to the average person, I don't think having it off takes away from the game, but I think having it on definitely adds a little bit of, if you actually notice it, then it definitely adds to it. But I don't think not having it takes away from the beauty of the game. I think
you wouldn't know.
Yeah, every round the games looked beautiful.
Absolutely.
There was just something extra when it was on, if you actually noticed it though. That's the thing. If you don't notice it, then it was just normal.
Or sometimes it looked better when it was off than the Marvel one. So
That's actually true as well,
I think it's,
So you would say that you would probably go more for 4K or for more performance than for ray tracing?
Yeah.
Until they do better with it, then yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the difference is big enough to force me to lose the 4. I'd rather have 4K than,
But it comes with it, right? You don't have to pay extra for ray tracing.
No.
Go ahead and put it in.
And there you have it. They struggled with trying to figure out whether or not ray tracing was on or off, probably a little bit more than they thought they might have. And you see, the thing is that video games up to this point have done such a fantastic job, the developers have done such a great job at making the games look so realistic without ray tracing, that at this point, the ray tracing technology is maybe a little bit too young, a little bit maybe underpowered on next-gen consoles. And some of them, did kind of guess right, but that's exactly it. There was a lot of guesswork. They understood the basics of what ray tracing is meant to be, but they kind of just took it and went, you know what, this is I'm gonna say this and that, and while their reasons were sometimes really on point, unfortunately it wasn't always the truth. And when they did get it right, it was very much surprising. They didn't fully go, yes, this is definitely the right answer, and then you get one guest who got everything wrong. But hey, you know what, at the end of the day, I hope they had fun trying to figure it out. But I think we can all agree that amongst us, and I wonder what your opinion is, that ray tracing isn't really worth it yet. And while it is nice, and with me, I always choose resolution, and sometimes ray tracing's with the resolution, and so fantastic. But if you're a person that prefers maybe more frames per second, maybe you'll choose maybe just performance and not with ray tracing on. But hey, at the end of the day, it's your choice. But this is just consoles. If you look at PC, if you especially look at older games, ray tracing really does make a huge difference. The problem is that you're probably starting with about $400-500 for a graphics card or that has ray tracing that actually does a decent enough job, and so it's just a very expensive kind of starting point. And so when you look at those games like such as Minecraft, the game looks completely different within ray tracing. And so what this basically does is that it shows you that while consoles do some decent ray tracing, it's nothing amazing, but considering that you only pay $400-500 for consoles, it really does give it really value for money, the fact that it has ray tracing in. But who knows, maybe developers will get better at using the ray tracing on consoles. We'll just have to wait and see as the years go by. But for now, I don't think it's absolutely that amazing that you have to go run out and buy. It's a nice to have, but not a must have. But thank you so much for joining me in this episode of That Freaking Geek. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a follow. It would be fantastic to have you part of this community. I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.